Hey guys, Alex here. And first off, happy Easter, and secondly, I want to talk about a dream I had the other night, and it was pretty memorable, but when I tell you my dream, it's not going to sound too memorable to you guys. But the feeling I had when I had the dream was really intense, probably the most intense dream I've had in the last 5 or so years, maybe the last 10 or so years. But anyways, the other night, I had a dream that I was traveling somewhere by plane, and one of my connecting flights was in Iceland. And as a kid, I've always wanted to go to Iceland. But yeah, in my dream, I landed in Iceland and I was like, hey, maybe I have time to see what Iceland looks like. So I stepped outside of the airport, and right there was one of those hot springs. A hot spring is one of those, it's like a heated body of water, but it's actually something that happens in nature. So it's a natural piece of beauty in nature. If you look at like tour pictures of Iceland, you can see a lot of people, just hanging out in these hot springs, kind of like a jacuzzi, I guess. And they're surrounded by ice, and it just looks really exotic, really fun, and really relaxing. But yeah, so as I was hanging out in this hot spring, I asked one of the locals to take a picture of me with the other locals, so I can capture the moment and, just capture the memory so I can keep it. And after hanging out with these people for a bit, I was hit by a reminder that, oh crap, I might miss my flight. So I ran out and I asked one of the airport people, hey, when's my flight? And they go, oh, it'll be in about 20 minutes. So I had this sudden urge of panic, and I had to run out, and that was pretty much the end of my dream. But I woke up really sad. Like, I was almost on the verge of crying because I was so sad. I don't cry, though, but I was on the verge of it. And that was my dream. It sounds kind of lame, but yeah, when I woke up, it was very intense. Like, I had this really intense desire to make this happen in reality. Because as a kid, maybe over 25 plus years ago, I've always dreamed about going to Iceland. And also, I also have dreamed about going to the Faroe Islands as well. I don't know, for some reason, I kind of lump these destinations together. I know they're completely different. Like, when I think of Iceland, I think of, like, volcanoes, glaciers, the Northern Lights and whatnot. The Faroe Islands is more, I picture something more green, more, more ocean around it. I mean, both, you can say that about both, but, I know they're different. The languages are semi-similar. I mean, to me at least. I'm sure if you're from Iceland or the Faroe Islands, they're completely different to you guys. But, yeah, that was my dream. And every time I see a movie that's filmed in Iceland, like, it just makes me, long for it even more. Like, I'm trying to think of some movies that were filmed there. I know there's a James Bond movie filmed there. Journey to the Center of the Earth with Brendan Fraser was filmed there, I believe. What else? I'm trying to think, sorry. Brain fart. And, The Secret Life of Walter Mitty was filmed there more recently as well. And when I saw these scenes, like, filmed there, I was like, oh my gosh, I really want to go. Yeah, the reason why I want to go to the Faroe Islands and Iceland so badly, well, there's two reasons. One, you might not know this about me, but before I got really into Alexander the Great, I was also into the Spartans, and I was also into the Vikings. So, to focus more on the Viking aspect, yeah, I used to read about these places where, these Viking ancestors would explore and just settle. And yeah, Iceland was one of those places. And, the Faroe Islands was indirectly, I guess, settled by Viking descendants, I suppose. I don't want to go into the history, and it's also kind of hazy in my mind right now. But yeah, the languages haven't changed too drastically since, the Vikings settled these areas. I mean, I know it's changed a bit, but it hasn't changed that much. And just hearing, like, Icelandic and the Faroese language, they're beautiful. Like, I know they're different, but they sound really beautiful, very exotic. Like, I know if you're from there, it probably doesn't sound too exotic to you guys, but to me, it sounds awesome. It sounds very, I don't know, I can't explain it. But, Yeah, I guess another reason, like when I think of Iceland, as I said, it sounds so alien, so exotic to me that I want to visit, these Icelandic landscapes, like all these volcanoes, glaciers. I want to hang out in these hot springs. I just want to, like, immerse myself in this really alien world. Speaking of which, I think I heard Prometheus, like some scenes of Prometheus were filmed in Iceland. Just want to get that out of the way. When I said alien, I guess that, yeah. So there's that, and then with the Faroe Islands, I imagine this really untouched, really green, like island paradise. So that's that. When I woke up from my dream, I immediately went online because I was so sad that my dream ended. So I went online. I started looking up just random YouTube videos of people exploring Iceland, people hanging out. I mean, like, yeah, people hanging out in the Faroe Islands, and it kind of made me sadder that these people have got, they've already explored these areas, that they've traveled there. Some people actually live there, and made me sad that I haven't done this yet. So I know I've had Greece on my travel itinerary, but after having this really intense dream, I'm going to put Iceland and the Faroe Islands even higher. So maybe in about 2 or so years, maybe 5 years, when I have the extra cash, I'm gonna try to visit Iceland, and at some point visit the Faroe Islands as well. Like I want to visit both, like I really do, and I don't want to do those cheesy, guided tours or those cheesy tour groups. I want to visit these places myself, and hang out with the locals myself. I don't want to hang out with other tourists. That just sounds kind of cheesy to me. I want to be more adventurous, basically, and explore these paradises for myself. So yeah, I just want to get that off my chest. It's kind of weird that I had these dreams. Like, I wasn't even thinking about Iceland or the Faroe Islands recently, but I just happened to have a dream about it. So yeah, now I just have this really strong desire to travel to these really exotic locales. Anyways, I want to end my video, but have you guys been to Iceland or the Faroe Islands? Do you guys live there? What are your perceptions of Iceland or the Faroe Islands? Remember, they're different, but what are your perceptions of them? And yeah, happy Easter, guys, and thank you for watching this video. Sorry for taking your time. I'll see you guys later.